Hi guys, Ethereal Awakening here. I'm doing individual zodiac sign readings. This one is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Check your North Nodes. I am using my bicycle deck. It's been with me the longest. It's a little woe-begotten. Please use the eyes of the heart. It just gives me a deep story without so many cards, and it's tried and true. You know, I stick with what works. And these cards they speak to me. So, without further ado, Cancer, what's going on with you, man? Feel like things are falling apart a little? Just a intuitive nudging on this one. Let's see what's going on. First card out, we've got the Fool. My Joker card is my Fool card, and he's an upright. Along with the Five of Swords. So the current energy is Cancer, somebody you're dealing with is just ready for something new, but to me this is at all, like, I'm going to get something new. And I don't care who I have to cut out to get there. This relationship has had some I want to say that there's been heartache in this relationship that's kind of been put a band-aid on, not really expressed appropriately or expressed on the level that it needed to be expressed. We just kind of went, okay, well, we'll just, and that's what happens in a lot of relationships, is you reach a stalemate where nobody's really getting through to the other person, so we just kind of move on like nothing really got resolved. And I believe that's exactly what this is referring to. It's created a block where this person's like, I'm done with you. And I don't care. I'm going to cut you out to get this new beginning. With you, without you. I mean, not seeing an ending here. I'm just seeing a block. I've got the Nine of Cups in the heart position, along with, can't make this shit up, there's the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords are here twice. There is definitely a way of thinking that is blocking heartfelt communication and love here. This Nine of Cups this is exactly what you want. This is what happened. This is when you ignore yourself. And that's what happens when we have stalemates in our relationships, when nobody's really hearing the other person and being able to make an adjustment in the relationship so both parties can move forward and get a solution that they both like. We've just kind of went, okay, well, it's an impasse. We're just going to ignore it and keep going. That creates blocks. We've got Two of Swords here. And how I got that is when I look at this Five of Swords, there's 2 spades up. That's the Two of Swords. 3 are down. This is the past heartache and disappointment that we've just ignored and kept going. And then here we are with the Nine of Cups in the heart space. That's a wish fulfilled card in my deck. There's 5 cups up, 4 cups are down. I'm seeing that based on the hearts. So this person has suffered in silence. You or the other person, Cancer, is suffering in silence. But it's created a huge block in the way of thinking and how to get out of it. We've already put band-aids on so many issues. How do we get out of this? Yeah, there's the past heartache is fueling into the current heartache. I mean, this is the result of breezing over things that we we both need to understand, first off, why we're feeling the way we feel. It's not the other person. It's you. It's, you, Cancer, them, each of you in the relationship, taking the time to really understand why. Like, if you don't like the way they communicate with your friends, this is an example. Why? Why are you so affected by the way they communicate? I mean, unless they're being in and out inappropriate, then why are you picking somebody who would be inappropriately speaking to anybody that you call a friend? Or, you know what I mean? So this is all self-reflection. That's another 9 of Cups. The fulfilled emotional state that's being blocked because you're not fulfilling of your own self-emotions. Let's look at the future position. I've got the 7 of Pentacles, looking back over all these past hurts that we've breezed over. But not from the position of, well, they did me wrong. So if they would have just done this, if they'd stopped doing that, if they'd stopped communicating with my friends poorly, if they'd stop cheating on me, if they'd stop... No. What about you? If my self-confidence was at a level that I didn't tolerate someone I love speaking to my friends inappropriately, and I didn't tolerate someone cheating on me, how would things have gone differently? Probably wouldn't have stuck around in an emotionally exhausting and codependent relationship. I'm sensing codependency here. Strong codependency. King of Wands. Codependency is a way of relating to other people to teach us to be independent. The 7 of Pentacles is well on its way with hard work to 9 of Pentacles, independence. This King of Wands is, Cancer, you're possibly dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. However, I also believe this energy that we all can encompass, we can all embrace the King of Wands energy and thoroughly look through our past experiences and decipher for ourselves what works, what doesn't work, redirect, refocus, and keep going forward. That will give you a clear line of sight in, why am I so codependent on this person? Why can't I let go of someone who, because in relationship, when we are failing to communicate, one of us is not being, feels like we're not being, you both feel like you're not being heard. Why do people yell? There's only 2 reasons. Let's be honest. We're going to be King of Swords. I'm an Aquarius. We're going to be King of Swords right now. People yell for 2 reasons, and 2 reasons only. No, wait a minute. Scratch that. 1 reason. It breaks down in 2 different ways, but people yell because they feel like they're not being heard. So, whether audibly, I'm whispering, so I have to yell, or I've said this 100 times and now I'm getting angry and I'm yelling. I'm still, in both ways, I'm not being heard. That is why people yell. So, based off of that, if you're having a lot of arguments, a lot of fights with another person, and it's really kind of funny that if somebody says something to you, don't do that way. Whatever. Oh, don't yell at me. I wasn't yelling at you. But we've got this programmed into our brains that just being told to do it a different way or try it this way, or that's yelling. It's not yelling. You're not being yelled at. But that's kind of what this is in reference to, is even if you're in a relationship where you don't actually yell at, use a high tone and a projected level to get your points, that's yelling. Even if that's not something that happens, but when you are coming at each other with complaints, you're yelling at me again. Well, I don't yell. I would rather you not talk to my friends that way, or I'd rather you not cheat on me, or I'd rather you not, you have all these complaints that aren't really getting solved. They're just getting band-aids, and you keep going. So what's working for you, Cancer? What's not working for you, Cancer? Let's look at this underlying energy. We got the Ace of Pentacles. This is all the gift of learning compassion. And this is the Ace of Pentacles with the Queen of Cups. So this lesson, whether you stay in this relationship or not, is, again, I'm not speaking on that. I'm just saying that whatever the issues are that are in this relationship require you and the other person to individually internalize and see what it is that you're not hearing in your own. Well, they're never going to hear what you're saying if what you're saying doesn't come from an authentic and heartfelt, appreciated, compassionate level. And if you come from there and they're still not hearing you, then what are you doing? Walking away is the greatest form of love. It really is. It shows yourself that you love yourself enough and love that other person enough to stop hurting each other and to give time for healing. And that's what this Queen of Cups energy is. And that's what the Ace of Pentacles is that gift that we give each other. Whether it's a break to fully understand your own feelings and then come to the table with open, honest, authentic communication that doesn't yell. It just comes from a place of, I'm learning that I have triggers from when I was a kid about being abandoned. And I don't have a right to put that on you. And if you can have that open, honest communication back and forth with this person, then maybe there's things can progress in a way. But this is, to me, in this future position, this is requiring, or as Spirit asking you to please take time individually to re-examine what has worked in the past and what doesn't work in the past, and find a new way of doing it with that internal, the King of Wands here is very much this internal passionate energy through yourself, through your own journey. That's the only perspective you really, don't look at, well, they were doing this and they were doing, no. Your own perspective, your own self-abandonment by failing to have that open, authentic communication is really the gift. You'll keep doing it until you've exhausted yourself and there's no other choice. Because the Band-Aids over these kinds of issues are probably what is hurting so bad. I mean, I got the two, there's a block here. There's a definite block here. And Spirit is just asking each one of you to be thoughtful, caring, concerned for yourselves, and then come back to the table with that kind of a communication and see where that goes. Because at that point, you really have exhausted all means and measures, and then you can really look at it like, I've got to do what's best for me, because we're only hurting each other as we're going. So I hope this helped, Cancer. See you next time. Bye.